Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're gonna talk about XRP. And I gotta start with this from Ripple. The start of 2025 saw major momentum for Ripple, XRP, and the broader crypto community. Highlights include SEC and Ripple reached an agreement to end the lawsuit. We are just waiting on the judge right now. And I'd like to see Atkins say something about this. I think that could give a boost to XRP. Hidden Road acquired for $1.25 billion to scale XRP Ledger and RLUSD adoption. Institutional demand rises for XRP-based investment products. U.S. policy shift signals more clarity and more opportunity. Starting in Q2, the XRP markets report is evolving. We will continue to be transparent and share relevant updates on Ripple and XRP-related announcements through official channels, including Ripple and Ripple X Dev, and will maintain public access to our XRP holdings on Ripple.com. So I saw people saying Ripple's no longer going to be transparent going into Q2, but they just said you can have public access to how much XRP Ripple is holding at Ripple.com. And one thing I want to point out is the on-chain activity for transactions slowed down from Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. People are expecting that momentum to come back on the XRP ledger. XRP burned for transaction fees. That also dropped because there were less transactions happening. Now, this could turn around at any moment. And I'm just pointing out the numbers that we're getting from Ripple. Another thing I want to point out is the escrow. It shrunk from 38 billion down to 37 billion, 130 million, and 5 XRP. I still see people saying that Ripple is holding 52 billion tokens in escrow, but that's not true anymore. That's data from all the way back in like 2019, 2020. Bitcoin maxis still like to make it look like XRP is centralized and not decentralized. And again, next month, another 1 billion will be unlocked. And then we'll see some of that XRP get locked back in. We see it month after month. But I just wanted to point that out on how much XRP is still in escrow. And I honestly like the fact that Ripple holds that escrow because they're going to use it strategically to add more and more use cases to XRP. RLUSD is now available for trading on Gemini. Deposits and withdrawals are enabled, one exchange after another, giving you access to RLUSD. RLUSD is still gaining a lot of traction, and that's eventually going to show up in the price of XRP as well, because in a lot of cases, that RLUSD is being moved through XRP. House Republicans have released a discussion draft of their much-hyped crypto market structure bill. And this one's big. This is FIT 21. What this does is it shows you who is now in charge of regulating crypto. This bill gives more power to the CFTC and takes power away from the SEC. So it looks like the CFTC will be the dominant crypto regulator going forward. But it also does this. The bill establishes a clear decentralized test. In order for a project to qualify as decentralized, a single party is not supposed to have unilateral control. Holders controlling more than 10% of the supply are supposed to be disclosed while the project remains centralized in order to ensure transparency. A blockchain is deemed mature if it has fundamental value and is substantially developed, functional, open, impartial, rule-based, and is not centrally controlled or owned, less than 1/5 of the supply. The draft version of the bill also removes requirements linked to net worth thresholds, meaning that the market would be open to more ordinary investors, meaning that for years to come, the average working 9 to 5 guy or girl could get involved in crypto. When it comes to decentralized finance, some protocols can be exempt from regulation if they are non-custodial and do not exercise discretion. There's no understating the urgency and bipartisan partnership which Congress is moving to unlock crypto innovation in the United States. It's worth noting that the bill defines stablecoins without classifying them as a security as well. But the one part of this I really liked is the fact that they're going to take centralized cryptocurrencies and decentralized cryptocurrencies, and they're going to separate them. They're also going to tell you this cryptocurrency is mature. It already has been developed, functional, open, impartial, rule-based, and is not centrally controlled or owned. This bill is going to benefit utility-driven cryptocurrencies more than any other cryptocurrency out there. But they're still dragging their feet to get this passed as well. We need to get clarity in the United States sooner than later. SEC announces official crypto task force members. Panelists include BlackRock, Fidelity, NASDAQ, Franklin Templeton, and Robinhood. Where the hell is Ripple, Chainlink, Coinbase, maybe a member of Uphold? Why is it always the same companies that aren't even crypto companies? These are the people that are running the entire show. BlackRock, Fidelity, NASDAQ, Franklin Templeton, and Robinhood. The good thing is that I think Franklin Templeton, their CEO really sees the future. She's already said Bitcoin is just a distraction. The big disruption is not Bitcoin. The disruption is going to come from XRP, XLM, XDC, and so on. But you would think they would have crypto companies there if they're going to create a crypto task force. DeFreeze is now live on the XRP ledger, built for issued tokens, only not XRP. It offers essential control for regulatory compliance, fraud prevention, sanctions enforcement, institutional grade tokenization. And I saw people already saying, here they go, they're going to be freezing your XRP. They even put this disclaimer in there. It's important to note that DeFreeze does not apply to XRP, the XRP ledger's native digital asset. DeFreeze is designed exclusively for issued tokens and does not impact XRP balances or transactions in any way. This is going to benefit institutions. This was created for institutions. Does not address high-risk compliance scenarios. Institutional issuers require a stronger freeze mechanism for situations involving sanctioned entities, fraud mitigation, or legal compliance. And they're going to be able to freeze tokens if they're being used for illicit activity, things like that. And I think this had to be put in place ahead of institutional adoption as well. I just wanted to give that a mention because I already seen people saying they're going to be freezing XRP on the XRP ledger. It's not going to happen. This comes from Brad Garlinghouse. Proud to team up with Donors Choose and Teach for America on Ripple's first major philanthropic initiative powered by RLUSD. That word took me off guard there for a minute. American innovation and economic mobility start in a classroom, and this $25 million will support students, teachers, and staff with the resources they need to build a stronger future for themselves and their communities. So Ripple's giving $25 million to U.S. classrooms. And right away, people said, that's because they're going to be teaching XRP in the classroom. I'm sure they're going to be teaching crypto in classrooms now. Crypto's becoming part of the new financial system. It would make sense for that to happen. But what I think Ripple is actually doing here is they're promoting education. Just education in general. Because they don't even really talk about XRP in here at all, or even blockchain. They just tell you pretty much we're supporting a good cause. And Brad goes on to say this: you can donate RLUSD, XRP, or other cryptocurrencies to donors choose and Teach for America via the link below. And if you want to donate to this, I think it's a great cause. You know, anybody looking for a possible write-off on those crypto taxes, this would be a great write-off for people as well. But I like anything that Ripple does. They're always helping out. You know, they're always donating to this cause or that cause. Now they're donating for education. Just posted, Elon Musk's mysterious X tied to Ripple. Crypto world erupts as XRP army predicts global domination. This entire article, in my opinion, is nonsense. Unless Elon Musk comes out and says, hey, we're going to tie in RippleNet and XRP to X payment platform. Until then, it's nothing more than speculation. I'm sure this would make sense, though, because of how fast and how cheap XRP is. It would make sense for Elon to utilize it inside of XPay. But right now, this is still early. And one thing I always pointed out, that Elon Musk, he acquired a lot of money transmitter licenses, just like Ripple did, all around the United States. So for them to come together, that makes a lot of sense, but it's not confirmed yet. I see so many of these articles now. The Fed just announced that they're going to utilize XRP starting on July 14th. But the Fed never said anything yet. However, we do know that Ripple's been working with the Fed for years now. You know, so it makes a lot of sense that that would happen. But these articles are just being made up. And you got to sift through the bullshit and find the facts on X anymore. And it's becoming harder and harder to do that because there's so much hype out there now for XRP. And I always said, XRP doesn't even need hype. It has actual use case and utility. It doesn't need to be hyped up. We're not holding Bitcoin. We're holding the future when we're holding XRP. I already showed you all the ties between Ripple and the elites. I already showed you how the elites are already looking at a new financial system. It's happening in real time right now. But you don't need to have the hype to go with these articles. And they write full-on articles about this now. And it creates a lot of confusion for people, like new investors, because they see this and they're like, oh, I better buy XRP right now. And I would agree with that. They do need to buy XRP, but they need to know the facts around XRP also. And XRP is going to make a lot of people a lot of money starting this year. But until it happens, you got to stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.